Did you know that 75% of a website's brand authority and credibility comes from the website? The first impression really does matter. And right now I want to talk to you about 5 hot web design tips that we've actually been integrating in all of our websites for our B2B SaaS clients. So all the time we have CMOs, VP of marketing and CEOs come to us and ask us, hey, what is the best marketing strategy for our website? Because they understand the value of your website, right? Let's first talk about why your website is important, then we'll get into like what you should be conscious of in 2023 when we're talking about different web design tips. So number one thing is when people come to your website, you want to give them a very good lasting impression. You want to show that you're credible. And how do you show that you're credible? That everything is brandly concise. I know sometimes you probably go on an old website or an older website that was recently done or recently designed, but you still feel like it's old and it's missing something, right? That feeling is a feeling of remorse, of regretting even coming to that website, right? And now, if you find a competitor to that person who has a much cleaner, much sleeker, and well-designed website, that tells you everything. You want to work with the guy who's looking fresh. You want to look with the agency or the company that has a nice look feel to it, right? And so usually when people come to us, we let them know that your website's purpose is to provide information. It's to provide a transaction in terms of them submitting a form, buying one of your products, or reading your content, right? And so you want to show your website for potential investors if you're raising capital, that you're professional, that you guys know what you're doing. You want to show potential new team members, and you want to fill up your hiring pipeline by showing that you're having all the different advances on your website and the information there. You want to show your potential customers and leads that you have all the information, you have all the solutions for them to actually trust you, right? And so when building a website, this can be a very complex task because there's so many different elements to include here. We can talk about content, we can talk about SEO, we can talk about graphic design, animations, responsiveness, all these things that are buttoned together to create a really good marketing website. So I'm going to get into these 5 tips now. Number one thing you want to identify is you want to make sure you want to keep things clear, simple for the ultimate user experience. In user experience, it's about look, feel, and usability. Under look, you want to look credible, you want to look trustworthy, you want to look harmonious, you want to have a spirit in your brand. You want people to feel the joy of an interactive website, right? And then that all couples together to usability. The functionality of the website, are your pages clicking, are your links working, is your navigation easy? Is it individualized? What does individualized mean? Have you nailed down a design that matches your ideal customer profiles and what they're used to? Right? Predictability. If I go and I click on this page, I know I'm going to get on this page and it's easy for me to go back to the previous page if I have to go back. Number 2 is your brand ID. Your brand ID, now, if you don't have a brand ID, that's okay because your brand identity is an always evolving organism of itself, right? If you start a business today, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, at your exit, it's going to be a completely different brand. That's the reality we're looking at. It's always going to be adapting with what the market wants it to adapt, not what you want it to adapt, what your customers are used to, right? And so you want to build that brand around your customer base and around what they're expecting from you as a business. Brand identity can actually be quite a difficult task, but when creating a brand, you have to understand that it's not just the logo, it's not the colors, it's not the typography you have, although those are really important parts of the website. But more important than that is what is the feeling you're giving people? How are people feeling when they go on your website? 9 times out of 10, when people come to visitdigital.com and see our website, they want to work with us only because we have a cool and sleek website. They don't even care about the processes. They don't care about how we approached it, none of that stuff. They see that we put our money where our mouth is. We provide a high quality design for marketing websites in the B2B SaaS space. And because we did it for ourselves and we did it for us and it worked for us because we got them as a client, that conversation is much, much easier. So you see how important a brand is when it comes to your sales process as well. It's all congruent. It's all unison in one, right? So I mentioned earlier in this call, in this video actually, that you have a brand and you have a website. It's your first impression. That brand is the overarch around that. The second thing is call to actions. And 70% of websites that we see don't even have call to action. Their call to actions are very basic, where it's just like a contact button in the hero and they go and there's a form, right? That's really boring and very 2015, even older probably. So strategically placing different call to actions on your website is what's going to be your key to success with this, because you want people to actually engage, you want your website to serve its purpose. So let's go and talk a little bit more about the different types of call to actions. We have a call to action for, people that you're hiring, so a talent pool, people going and uploading their profiles, their CVs, and a description why they want to work with you. That's one call to action you can have. You can have a high intent call to action where it's immediately book a demo at the top right, and you go to a different page where it's only centric to that. They can't go else anywhere else. Number 3 can also be if you have a blog and you have a lot of readers there, you want people to subscribe to your newsletter or follow you in different social media channels. And call to actions, it's something that you always want to be testing with. It's not one size fits all kind of solution. Based on the service you provide or the product you sell, your call to actions should be strategically placed throughout the website to really give that person a feel that you know what you're doing and you can do it for them as well. Number 4 is actually content control, right? So having high quality content on your website is crucial because it plays a very valuable role. The web copy and the content affects your ability to draw in visitors and get people interested in your offering and what you have to sell. 41% of people will stop engaging with the website if the content is dull and overbearing. So you want to keep your content very simple, very to the point, and also you want it to speak to your ICPs, right? So whatever types of problems that you're solving for that customer, you want to make it very benefit oriented. Not what you do through features, but why you do what you do and how this solution can get them to their point, right? I really recommend reading about Dan Kennedy, how he approaches copywriting, because these are some of the key things you need for a website, right? So good copy, followed by a great design, followed by strategically put out call to actions is really what's going to make your website a banger. The last one is visual design trends. Now, there are a lot of trends out there, and these trends obviously keep changing due to the market. One thing that we found that's really hot right now is parallax, right? Parallax website with minimal motion graphics is what's converting the highest for our clients, and it's one of the biggest requests that we're getting in 2023. Why is this important for you to know? Because if you're considering getting a new website, you got to look at what is the future talking about. So if we're now going in that trend of minimalism, but with minor motion graphics and animations, that means that people are more focused on the content of the website, right? They want a minimal design that goes through a story of the content, which makes them want to convert, right? And so your content isn't just the copywriting on the different pages, it's also the copywriting that you have on the blog, right? Your blog is actually reinforcing what your brand is all about, what your solution is, and how you actually solve that for that prospective client or prospective media company or investor or person that wants to work with your company is going to do. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this short video, and I want you to like, comment, and subscribe, and then also check out this blog post that we did for 5 hot web design tips. Thanks very much.